Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Today I'm making a very exciting Uzbek dish, Vermicelli Pilaf. Pilaf, Pilau, Plov, Palov, Osh. They're all different names for the same dish. Depending on the region, has different names but has all the same ingredients, which are onions, carrots, meat, and rice. Only in this recipe, we're not using rice. We are using vermicelli. I will need 5 cups of or 650 grams of vermicelli, which is pretty much a thin spaghetti cut into 1-inch pieces. The fast cook vermicelli will not work for this recipe, so just get this one. And of course, each pilaf will start with the onion. So I have 2 large onions. We're just gonna slice them half moon. It doesn't really matter how fine you slice the onion because the onion is going to disintegrate into our zirvak, which is kind of a stew. That's the preparation for the pilaf. And having lots of carrots also important for your pilaf, nor they just gonna give your pilaf a beautiful color, but also will add sweetness to it and juiciness to it. So I have 2 large or 5 small carrots cut into julienne style. Then we need 5 cloves of garlic. I always say 4 or 5, but I add 7. But anyway, instead of mincing it, we're just gonna slice it into thin slices because of course it's gonna also disintegrate into our zirvak. Now this is the ingredient you don't see using in pilaf, but we're gonna use it for this recipe is 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. I'm going to switch my cutting board to the meat one, and I will need 2 pounds of beef for this recipe. And I'm using quadrille, which is pretty much a tri-tip. It's a beautiful meat. It is kind of pricey. So here are some other choices. If you guys don't want to use this cut, you could use sirloin, short ribs, or flank steak. And then of course, if you're using chuck, you will need a little bit more time for it to get tender. So allow to cook for it a little bit longer. We're gonna cut our quadrille into 1-inch cubes, just like that. To fry all these ingredients, we will need a good oil, and I'm going to be using half a cup of cottonseed oil, which is very popular in Uzbekistan. But here are some other choices for high smoke point oils like avocado, safflower, or peanut oil. As far as the spices, of course, you can use the pre-made pack for making pilaf that has all the spices in it, but some of the spices that they put in there, I don't like. So I'm gonna make my own. I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon of coriander, 1 teaspoon of turmeric. I'm also going to be using 1 teaspoon of Aleppo pepper, or you could use the chili flakes. And of course, we're going to need some salt. We're going to start with 1 tablespoon of kosher salt and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And then keep in mind that all the spices can be adjusted at the end. And we're also going to need 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds, which we are going to add at the end right on top of our vermicellis. Here you go. First things first, we need to dry fry our vermicellis. A dry fry means using absolutely no oil. It's going to be just a dry skillet. In my case, I'm using the wok. And we are going to be using medium heat to dry fry our vermicellis. And then we're going to dry fry them until they are golden brown. Transfer your vermicelli onto the platter and let them cool. To make any plov, you will need kazan, and if you don't have one, go get one. We're gonna add half a cup of cottonseed oil, and we're gonna need a spatula like this to mix our ingredients. And as soon as our oil heats up, and it needs to be like really seriously heated up, we're gonna add our onion. And we have to watch our onion carefully, because in some recipes people make mistakes when they fry their onion too fast and the onion burns, and it's gonna make your dish to taste bitter. So the key here is to fry the onion until it plumps up like this and it's mostly creamy onion, because this will ensure that your onion will disintegrate into your zervak and pretty much disappears in it. The process of frying the onion will take as long as 10 minutes. Then we're gonna add our beef. And we're gonna crank up the heat a little bit, because what happens when you add cold ingredient to the hot ingredient, especially our meat is cold, so it's just gonna create a lot of juices that we don't need. We need to fry this meat. We don't need to boil it. So crank up your heat and start frying your meat on high temperature. And as you can see, you get a little bit markings of the fried meat. And after that, we're gonna add our carrots and then mix it also again. And as you can see right away how the onion disappears in there a little bit. And then we're gonna add the garlic and also mix it and just cook the garlic just for a minute or so. And this is the beginning of our zervak. What zervak is kind of a stew that is the base of any pilaf. Then, of course, we're going to add all our spices, because they act better in oil. They kind of open up and create a lot of flavors. And then add boiling water to your ingredients to make this kind of a stew or a soup. So I would add 2 cups or 3 cups, and then we're gonna add our tomato paste and then just mix it and just make sure it all dissolves into our broth. And then after everything has been added, we're just gonna mix it again, and it's time to taste our zervak. We're gonna taste it and we're gonna adjust our seasonings. So at this time, if you need more salt, add more salt. If you want a little bit more pepper, add a little bit more pepper. If you want a little bit more spices, add a little bit more spices. And then we're gonna cover it and cook it for 30 to 45 minutes until your meat is tender. And once again, depends on the cut of your meat. At this point, we are going to add our fried vermicelli, and we're just gonna have them sit on top. Just level it up and have them sit right on top of our zervak. And as you can see, there's not enough water. We have to add a little bit more water. And then the water have to cover your vermicelli for about 1/4 of an inch high. Because vermicelli is not rice. It's gonna cook very fast. So cover again and cook on medium-low for 20 minutes. Then uncover, and as you can see how our vermicelli have plumped up a little bit. Then we're gonna add our cumin seeds and cover again and cook it now on low for 10-15 minutes until your vermicelli is completely done. And as you can see, we're just gonna mix it around a little bit and it's completely done. So we're gonna turn off the heat and let it rest for 5 to 7 minutes. And as you can see, your vermicelli is completely done. And it's al dente, so it's gonna be a really tasty plov. We're gonna mix all the ingredients together with the meat and the carrots, and there are no signs of onion showing anywhere. Remember how I told you it's gonna disintegrate into our zervak. And it's time to serve our beautiful pilaf. So get a beautiful plate, this plate called lagan. We're gonna just serve our plov with a little bit of greens on top, whichever likes you like. I happen to like dill, and enjoy it with a cup of green tea or with a side salad. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.